guys, welcome to Frances Crocheting. I'm pretty much like restarting this YouTube channel. I used it a while for like educational content, mostly just like teaching people how to crochet certain things, but now hopefully I'm gonna get into the more of the like vlog sphere of YouTube, and yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Today we're gonna go through my whips. Some of the projects I've been working on for a while, they're all crochet in this video because I'm pretty new to knitting. I mean, I've been knitting for a few years, but I'm more comfortable with crochet, and these projects have just like sat in the corner of my room for like 2 years. So I just need to like get working on them, but we're gonna go through that. And then we're also going to go through, basically I have this cake I need to make for Father's Day for one of my mom's friends, and so we're gonna bake that together and we're gonna have fun. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Okay, so first project I want to go through is this pillow by Soul Strike or Soul Strike. I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's a geometric pillow, and it's really cool because it's made with, I'm using mini skeins from Sorelli Yarn's library collection, which is a collection she released last year, and I just loved all the colors, so I knew I had to get a mini skein set. So I got this set of mini skeins, and this is my first panel of triangles, because basically how the pillow works, I'm going to put a picture there, but it's 3 rows of triangles, and so you just make them in like DK weight yarn. I'm using fingering weight, just held double, and I'm pretty much just, I've made all the triangles already. I just need to like sew them together. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't have like a lot of thread that I'm using to sew them together, so that's been something I've been struggling with. But honestly, like I really love the color palette and the look of this, so I do want to finish it. And so that's the front panel, and then the back panel is just like this neutral, simple like double crochet rows. And I'm also using Sorelli Yarn's classic DK yarn, which is just 100% merino wool, but it has this really, like, it's from their spring tonals, which they had this year, but I needed more, and I didn't pick up the I didn't buy it, which I'm stupid, but I'll have to get it next year to properly finish the pillow. But pretty much there's like a small panel, sorry, a larger panel, and then a small panel, and then I just like make some buttons and buttonholes, so you know I can attach them properly. This has been something that I've really needed to work on for a while. It's just kind of been sitting there, and I need to get that done. Okay, the next thing I have is this wave blanket. So I've been working on this blanket for at least 2 years. I mean, working on and off, you know, but pretty much it is this super huge blanket that I have. It's made with, I used Heatherly Sport Weight yarn, which is a blend of, I believe, wool and cotton, or wool and acrylic, one or the other, and it's huge. It's really soft though, and the best part is that it's a sport weight yarn, but it's kind of on the heavy side, so it's almost a light DK weight, which I really like because it's not super heavy of a blanket, even though it's massive. And then I also used, for the different colors, I used Hedgehog Fibers, classic DK yarn in Bubble and Deep End, which are really beautiful yarns. It just has this like beautiful like corally bright blue color with like hints of like neon yellow and like bright pink. I just love it. And then this stuff here is Deep End, which is also really beautiful. Just great speckled variegated yarns. Traditionally, I guess a blanket would be more like this size, you know, kind of like a throw blanket, but the problem is I've decided to make it like this, which means that I'm only halfway done. I still have so much to go, and so because of that, I feel like this has been a project that seems impossible to finish. You know, it just goes on and on for eternity. This kind of, it's just also sitting in a basket, in my room, and I haven't had any sort of motivation to work on it. My next whips are kind of like not really whips, they're just things that I need to finish. For example, this is just needs to be reskeined. This is the beginning of a bag that I need to undo. This as well. So it's just a bunch of stuff that I need to redo. But anyways, hi guys, sorry, I had a beach excursion yesterday and the people were like pulling into my driveway right as I was filming the end of the video. Anyways, so there's actually, I was showing you this stuff, which is pretty much like half-made bags that I've been working on that I've decided like aren't really going anywhere, so I'm just gonna probably like undo them again. But there was one more thing, like a larger project that I forgot to show you. I made granny square tote bag because there was a time a few years ago where like everyone was going crazy over these tote bags, and I was like, okay, I need to make a granny square tote bag. So I made one and it was really nice. It was pretty, but it wasn't practical. Sorry. I don't know what was going on with my voice there. But anyways, so I made this tote bag, but it wasn't really practical because the bottom of it would always sag when it had stuff in it, even though it had like this plastic bottom that I sewed in there so that it wouldn't fall. But it ended up falling, so that stinks. So I decided that since I'm never gonna use it, might as well just like make some more tote bags out of it. I had a ton of granny squares sewed together, so I was like, why not? So that's what I did. I deconstructed my granny square bag, and now I have 2 panels of granny squares and a bunch of squares left over that I'm probably going to use to make another panel. But my first idea was to sew these 2 panels together to make one tote bag. Like, meaning I'm not going to have 3 granny squares on the sides, 3 granny squares on the bottom. So it'll just be like a more simple tote bag. My other idea would be to have, with the other 9 squares that I have, would just be to have 1 panel of granny squares, and then on the other side of the tote bag it'll just be like solid crochet. I am in the midst of sewing those squares together. I still have to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. Again, it's something that like I don't like to do. It's not the most entertaining project, but it's in my whip pile. Okay, and the very last project that I want to share is my 2024 temperature blanket. So obviously I've not finished it, it's 2025, but I have made a lot of progress and I've actually been working on this recently. I'm using the what's it called, the Tunisian crochet temperature blanket by TL Yarn Crafts. I really like the pattern, it's really pretty. Basically it's constructed out of 5 panels and each day is 3 rows. And if you're not sure what a temperature blanket is, basically it's a blanket where you crochet a row, or in this case 3 rows, every day to mark either the highest temperature, the lowest temperature, the average temperature of that day. And each color resembles a different like temperature temperature range. Example, in my blanket, this is January, so the light pink, according to, I actually made a little key, I don't know where it went, oh here it is. I made a key, and so pink or light purple is 51 to 55 degrees. So for this year I'm doing the lowest temperatures. So in this case, the lowest temperature for January 1st was between 51 to 55 degrees. And then obviously going into summer, I have a lot more hot, low temperatures. So this is, gold is 80 degrees and above for the minimum temperature of the day. So far it's going well. I finished 2 whole panels and I'm in the midst of working on the 3rd right here. Each white line represents the beginning of a new month. So I just started June. So I'm on June 7th, I believe, or June 6th. So, I mean, I'm making progress. It's just, I know that I still have 6 more months to work on, so it's kind of discouraging knowing that I'm only halfway done. Or maybe it is encouraging, it just depends how you look at it, right? So this is in a nice box I have in the corner of my room, collecting dust, but recently I've been working on it, so it's not that bad. Okay, so with all that being said, those are my whips for this year, or these past few years. I've been working on them for a long time. They've just, you know, been something that kind of motivates me to finish my old projects and not just jump into some of the new projects that I want, even though there are so many. But that's what I've been working on. So I guess now we have to bake the cake, right? So this carrot cake is my grandma's recipe. I guess it's just been a family recipe that we've been using for years. I'm really excited to try it. It has cream cheese frosting, it has walnuts, it has like all the classic like carrot cake ingredients. Now let's go down and bake. Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Now we are going to start baking the cake. I have the recipe printed up here, and it's great because it's all in one bowl. So first thing I need to do is whisk the sugar, flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt and spices together. So let's do that. So I have my sifter here, and in go the ingredients. So now that all the spices are added, it's just time to sift it together. Now for the sugar. Now that my dry ingredients are nice and sifted, I have to blend in half a cup of oil and 4 eggs. So wet ingredients, here we go. So I don't know if you noticed, but I misread my grandma's handwriting and I only put 1/4 cup of oil when it was supposed to be 1 1/4 cups of oil. So I added the 1 cup a little bit later, but honestly, I think it still looks pretty good. Now I need to grate 3 cups of carrots, which I have here, and chop up 1 cup of nuts. So let's get going. Now that I've grated the carrots, I've chopped the walnuts, folded it in, our batter is looking delicious. I only have one of these pans, so I think I'm just going to cut some parchment for the bottom and the sides, and then I'm just gonna put some butter on it, and I'm gonna bake 3 layers, so I'm gonna have to try to like divide this evenly at 325 degrees. We're gonna check them at 20 minutes, and then from there on, like every 5 minutes, do a toothpick test. Good morning. I just have been making the cream cheese and the butter come to room temperature because now we have to make the frosting. The recipe called for 1 box of powdered sugar, but I don't have a box. I just have, you know, what's left over in my pantry. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look up how much powdered sugar is in a box. Maybe it's like 3 cups. And then I can measure it out and pour it in as we go. Frosting is made. The one thing that I realized that I didn't ever think about was how I was going to decorate this cake, which is pretty important, you know, when you think about it. That's good frosting. Now that I have this frosting, I guess the best course of action would be to frost the cake. just my day. If you want to see more videos like this and you liked it, please like this video and consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean a lot. You know, I'm just kind of getting started, and every subscriber counts, every view. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.